Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks to Mike and the Human Capital Media team for having me here today to talk a little bit about Suffolk. I had a wonderful weekend this past weekend. I spent it here in Fort Lauderdale, which beats Boston right now. And I spent it with 13 really talented learning practitioners who are part of the CLO Accelerator Series. So let's give them a round of applause. I also spent it with some other very talented teachers, so the likes of Lisa Doyle, Jerry Hudson-Martin, Kevin Wilde, and Justin Lombardo. Is Justin around? Raise your hand, Justin, if you're here. I learned a really important thing this weekend. Don't touch Justin's stuff. I still have bruises from touching his stuff. So anyways, I'm going to try to do a few things here today. I want to talk to you a little bit about Suffolk, talk to you about a business problem that we had, and the way we solved it, and then during the panel, answer any questions that you might have. So, Suffolk is a construction management firm. I'm going to give you the 15-second version of what we do. Essentially, we are a professional services firm. There are owners and developers that have land and have money, and then there are subcontractors that actually build things, which I can't do, and we sit in the middle, and we manage those projects for a fee. And that's what a construction manager does. I didn't understand that when I first was approached by Suffolk because I thought that construction were people that had tool belts and they would want me to do things that I didn't know how to do, but it wasn't, so much to my relief. So I want to show you a quick video that I will talk about in the context of the way we acculturate people to the firm, and it will teach you a little bit about Suffolk and give you a sense for what we do. So we're going to roll with this video next. So that gives you a sense of what we do. We build projects anywhere from $50 million up to $1 billion plus. We're about 2,000 employees nationally. We're a privately held $2.9 billion firm. And we're in markets spanning from the Northeast down to the Southeast, on the entire West Coast, new market in Dallas, and a new market in New York City. So the business problem that I'm going to talk about is in becoming a national firm and moving from being a regional, Boston-based, Northeast-based firm. We've been going through some growing pains in regard to attracting talent and keeping talent and ensuring that they fit the culture of the firm. The reason I showed you that video is if you got a feeling from that video, from the music or from some of the imagery in the video, that feeling was very intentional in regard to how we try to capture the organization from a culture perspective, and in part, why we developed a program to build our culture called We Are Suffolk. So what we believe as a vision is that we are trying to transform the construction industry by building smart, and that means we're focused on people, innovation, and community. And as far as innovation takes shape with things like digitally building buildings before we build them so that we can avoid problems like we've all had with our own home projects when there's something in the wall that you didn't anticipate and it costs you more money. And community is really important to us in that we believe in all the communities in which we build, we need to serve those communities. So I'm going to focus on people. People in this industry, as I talked about that relationship, owner, us, subcontractors, we are a highly intensive human capital business. The only thing we have in that relationship in the middle is our people. And that's the value that we add. So, all of us have been there. We show up, it's our first day of work. We've interviewed, we're super excited to join the firm, whether it was right out of college or whether it's in the middle of our career. We're full of possibilities, and we're wondering, what do we think the first day is going to be like? What are our colleagues going to be like? What's my office or desk going to be like? All those things are new. And we also know that on that first day, the experience that one has is indicative of how you feel about the firm you just joined, right? The experience with respect to all the things I mentioned, including the new manager. So what we were finding is in this experience, as we grew, becoming a national firm, they were having issues with employees in what I call our outposts, our newer regions, who were leaving the firm at a faster rate than our Northeast, kind of Boston-based region, which is the biggest. So in examining that and looking at retention statistics and looking at our employee engagement statistics, the evidence was clear that we had a problem. And so what we did is nothing that you haven't seen before. This is an onboarding process that starts from pre-onboarding, when we have an offer that's accepted and we're interacting with employees, making them feel good about the benefits and the other different things they have to do to come on board. But what we decided to do was about between days 90 and 180 to have people go through a program called We Are Suffolk, which I'm going to talk about in the next few slides, so that they could experience the culture in a very deep, meaningful way. So we are committed to this program and process in a way that we bring people in for 3 days. We take them off the jobs they are building and out of the functional jobs that they are doing. We bring them all to Boston, which is where the company was founded, and we have them spend time doing a bunch of different things that include time with executives, time with each other, time doing things like scavenger hunts in the headquarters to learn what the functional teams do and learn what IT does and learn what all the areas of the company do. And then we take them out very specifically to job sites, which I'll show you. And we have them, again, experience the passion, the process, in the environment in which the business is really grounded. We're so committed to this that this is a picture of our chairman and CEO, John Fish. He makes it a point to work his schedule around every one of these sessions so that he can be there and he can teach these groups of new joiners every time we have one of these sessions. So let me just show you some images of what this looks like. So this is a good example of being out at a job site where we give tours, we show people how we do our work, and we run this program about 7 times a year to keep up with the pace of hiring. We're also at a point where as we grow, we'll probably offer the program more, but we'll probably also start to act like a national company and start offering the program in other regions and bring people to those other regions to experience a new growth region. We think there are some real benefits to that with respect to not only assimilating people into the culture, but acknowledging that our culture will change as we become a national firm. Here's another example. This is, when I mentioned innovation, this is an example of a digital model that a team is taking a look at to look at the rendering of a building and see what it's going to look like. We also talk a lot about core values because we also believe that behavior and alignment is a really important part of who we are and about the company history, and then our strategy and the priorities that emanate from those strategies so that our new joiners can set goals early in this process. We also spend time out in the field, and in the field we have executive leaders, regional GMs, COOs, vice presidents who manage all these projects, but you can get a sense that we try to make it very real to our employees so they can experience what Suffolk and our partner Liberty are all about. And then we purposely build in a lot of time so that employees can network with each other. So one of the things that's become a really good outcome of this is that we've networked and knit the firm together in a way that now these colleagues who meet each other from New York to Boston to LA to San Francisco have contacts and have people who they can go to when they're experiencing an issue, have a question, have a problem. They feel like they're part of something. And then, again, we go out to lots of project sites. So you'll see I'm showing a lot of pictures of sites because people really enjoy going out to project sites. And I'll tell you this story. When I first joined the firm and I got my new boots, my Red Wing boots, so I'd be safe, I went out to sites all over the country. And what was fascinating to me was when you talk to someone at one of these project sites, what they talk about in their career is they talk about in X city, in San Francisco, I built that building, I built that building, I built that building. So feeling that passion and being connected to that is a really important part of the culture. Here we are in Boston, little advertisement here, another opportunity to get the group together. And then we measure it all. So as we all know, measurement's important, right? It's important so that we are accountable for the performance of our businesses. And so one of the things that we've learned, now that we've done this for now about 2.5 years, is that our employee engagement scores have gone up. We are about 14 points higher than the norm at an ESAT rating of 81. We also have a very, very high engagement participation rate where we have about 82% of our employees complete the employee engagement survey, about 15 to 20 points higher than what I've had in my experience. So the trends are really good, and the other trend that's good is our attrition has dropped about 4% since we started this program in our new regions. So we can compare it to the baseline of the Northeast against our new regions and look at the before and after, and it's a positive trend. Now that may not sound like a lot, but in a business that's small, and we're at a project site, if you only have 10 people who are critical to that project, any one person that leaves is significant. So I'll take 4%. And then our qualitative feedback has been very, very good in regard to people feeling like they are connected to the firm and like we have committed to them in a way that this is going to be a long-term relationship for them. So to wrap this up, what we believe is that onboarding is a strategic investment. It costs money and lost opportunity costs to have people come in and do this for 3 days. We believe it's worth it for the acculturation benefits. We also know the experience matters. So we treat these probably 24 people every time they come in like they are the most important people we have at HQ that week. We put up signs, we make it fun, we make them feel like they are special. And then we are constantly, with data, both quantitative and qualitative, and through our own observations and through benchmarking, ensuring that we make regular, continuous improvements to this process so that we can keep getting better and better. So with that, I'll thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you during the panel. Thank you very much.